All right, everyone, welcome to the Creative Boy YouTube page. My name is Trevor. I'm here with my counterparts,
Tommy.
And today, we're here to talk about microphones. As you maybe can see on the table in front of us, we've got a few different type of mics, and we're kind of just going to give a brief kind of overview about the different mics, different situations where you would want to use them, and
So like Trevor said, we're going to be walking you through some of the mics that we've used over the years that has helped us. Our experiences is what we're going to tell you and walk you through all these mics and the good things it does for production. We're going to make this tutorial a lot shorter than the ones that we've done previously so that it's a lot interesting, because we noticed that our tutorials are a little bit longer.
That's right, we like to talk, but you know, sometimes it can be a little too much, so we'll try our best to make this one shorter and sweeter than the last.
So we're going to be talking about our condenser mics. We're going to also be talking about USB mics. We're also going to be talking about its connection, some of these mics. We're going to be also talking about lavalier mics and how they all work. All right, so we have the omnidirectional mic, we have the bidirectional mic, and then we have the unidirectional mic. So if we talk about the directional, it basically is basically the way that the mic is receiving its sound. So you have the bidirectional, which most of the times you have the mic receiving its signal from maybe the left and the right. You have the unidirectional, which the mic is receiving its sound or its content from the front. So most of the times you will see a little dot over here, and we're going to walk you through all these mics. And then we have the omnidirectional,
which actually this Rode mic that we picked up, which we might do a quick test for, but again, the Rode mic omni, just meaning all around 360, no matter what direction the microphone is facing, it'll be able to pick up that audio all the same.
And the choice of the mic is very important for the particular work you're trying to do. So if you are doing interviews, you have a specific mic that you go with. These are not all the mics that we have on the market, but these are what we have in the studio. We can't talk about these ones because, I mean, we have some mics back that is probably doing something, so we couldn't have it on here. But depending on what you're doing, what type of production you're doing, you have to pick this. You have to pick the right mic that matches what you're trying to do.
All right, so I guess I'll just start with the one directly in front of me, and the one on both of our callers, which would just be a lavalier microphone. Lavalier. It's good to say.
Yep. So you probably heard of lavalier mics. Lavalier mics, one of the most popular mics on the market in terms of video production, and you might come across one of these mics. Sometimes it's so hidden where you might not know that it's there. Those are the lavalier mics. So the lavalier mics connections are different. So you can see right here that you have your normal aux output, but we have SR lavalier mics. We're going to talk about those things later in this tutorial.
So next after that, we have a unidirectional microphone. Again, this one was nice enough to, they color coded it so you can tell which direction to talk to, but it's just a one directional microphone with an XLR input.
All right, so next off we have the Rode Reporter mic. This mic is omnidirectional, so you're getting the sound pretty much 360. No matter where you turn the mic, you're gonna get your signals coming through. And next off, we have the NT1, the Rode NT1. Rode coming up a lot on our mics, our line of mics, because they are one of the best companies that make good mics. So this is a unidirectional mic. It means that the signal is coming from the front, and normally you see this dot signaling where the signals are coming from. If you record sound at the back of this mic, you will get a muffled sound.
Not be happy. You will not get what you were looking for.
Right. And last but not the least is the blue Yeti mic, and a lot of YouTubers probably know this mic has been in the system for quite a while. This is a unidirectional mic as well, but it's a USB connection. So we are going to be talking about the connections of these mics, how it's connected, and how it's going to connect to your gear, to your camera, how you're going to get this sound. So with Lavalier mics.
So as far as your inputs, again, this lavalier and most lavaliers, you're going to have just your aux input. It's kind of your baseline. The vast majority of cameras, cell phones, again, if you have a mixer, this is kind of just going to be your baseline. It's just slightly amplified, but almost any input system you're going to have, you'd be able to use an aux for it. It's sort of the lowest as far as quality goes, but again, it's just your baseline, super easy. Auxiliary cord. Again, if you have almost any camera you're gonna have is gonna be able to receive
it, and you're gonna get quality sound. Like I said, it's like Trevor said, it's on the low end, but that's the cheapest you can actually get. These lavaliers runs from $30 to $200. You're gonna get a really good entry level one around $100, and a starter one at maybe $70. And you can get pretty good sound, and that's what we're using here on this program. So the sound is not too bad. You just have to know how it works. Rode makes lavalier mics, so you can grab one. You can go to Amazon. There's some other brands. Sennheiser is another company that makes really good auxiliary aux lavalier mics. Also, you can tell on the lavalier mics that it's an auxiliary, and this is very common for even headphones and stuff, has the same connector. So like I said, it's gonna work on your Canon, Nikon, Blackmagic, name it, Sony cameras. All has aux outputs.
It's fairly universal unless you're working with maybe like a RED camera. Maybe it might not have an aux, but for the most part,
for the most standard cameras,
you'll be able to just plug an aux right in there.
Right. Now let's talk about the Rode Reporter mic. It's one of my favorites. I want you to start, Joey.
Oh, I mean, again, this Rode Reporter, I would say, short of a Blackmagic camera, this is our best purchase of the year. Again, the big thing with this being
really big,
especially being used for interviews, being able to interview multiple people, an omnidirectional mic is really, is really the way to go. Because again, you can move it around. If you're interviewing multiple people, it's still going to be able to record that sound. You don't have to be too disciplined, I'd say, with it. You can kind of just point it. You can point it where whoever's talking is. It's going to be able to get you a good sound.
Right. So Trevor started with how it actually works. I'm going to talk about the connection real quick. And here we have a cord. Here, it's the XLR. So if you were sitting at home thinking about, oh, let me get this mic. Oh, it's an aux, right? Oh, it works with, no. So this one, you need extra gear to let it work. You need some cords, which is this. So you're going a little bit above what auxiliary does. Auxiliary just goes straight into the camera. With this one, it can go straight into the camera, but you need a smaller XLR output. Normally, for bigger cinema cameras, top of the line cameras have XLR output, but they are smaller, so you need some sort of converter. So how are you going to use this? If you're interested in this one, how are you going to use this? We have this little receiver thing that we connect this XLR cable into.
I was actually thinking if I should grab it because we got it here in the background. Let's see if my cord is long enough to reach it. Yep.
Right.
We're good.
All right, so I'm gonna walk you through, guys, some of these devices that actually will help you use a reporter mic. So let's say you're thinking about a reporter mic. Reporter mic can be wireless as well. You can go to Rode and get wireless connectors that connect to this, and that in turn connects to your camera so you can get your sound in, or you can do it with the wire with the XLR cable. And this is the XLR cable that makes this mic an XLR mic. So you connect this on here, it goes straight into the mic, and then you connect this into this device. We're actually going to talk about this device a little bit maybe in a different tutorial, but we just want you to be familiar with these mics and what it can do. We're also going to put videos, a video test of this reporter mic, because we've used it on some professional work, so you know the sound difference. This device actually serves as some sort of input to an aux output. So this is receiving a signal in from the Rode. The signals in turn then go through an output where we can put any aux receiver and get it onto our camera. It's a little bit complicated, but I'm gonna do a specific video talking about this particular connection. But if you want a Rode reporter mic, no, that is an XLR type microphone, and you need extra gear to get it working. The next one will be the Rode NT1. The Rode NT1. This is a really good entry-level microphone. And your question is, how are we going to use this if I'm recording like a video or something? So this, like I said, is unidirectional, which means that the signal is coming from the front, or it's coming from one side. And most of the times I've seen this, and we have used this microphone to do podcasts. So if you're somebody that is getting into podcasts, you might look into this mic, but this is not a mic you use outside. So this Rode NT1 mic will be good if you're using it indoors, or you're using it in an enclosed area where there's not too much noise. For Rode reporter mics, it has some sort of built-in technology that kind of cancels outside noise. With an NT1, most recording studios, you'll find this mic, because it's pretty good for vocals, but it's used in an enclosed circle. So it's good for podcasts and things indoors because of its technology and how unidirectional it is. The last one is a USB mic. Trevor's been a little bit quiet here because I know more about audio than him.
Right, appreciate him pointing it out, you know. Why?
But I want you to start with this one though. This is a USB.
I'm sure. So I mean, I have used it a little bit, especially we had,
right.
you know, whether or not they're still up, but a couple of just kind of really short, quick tutorials. This is just a really good, quick kind of plug and play. We don't really use it for the camera, but especially in the computer, you know, if you're kind of doing something really quick, again, I would say some like streamers and things like that. Some streamers and stuff will use a microphone like this. Again, it's unidirectional, so it's just one way. You talk one way. If I'm talking into the side, you're not gonna get that audio. But I mean, again, it's decent if you're just if it's one person
Yep.
speaking into one microphone. That's really, again, if you just go by the definitions, a unidirectional mic, the easiest way to think, uni is one, so it should be for one person.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So what I can add to this one, like I said, is a USB. It's a USB mic. So any USB system, it could be a laptop, it could be a PC, it could be a MacBook, whatever you want to get your signals, you want it to receive the signal from the mic is a USB connection. So you connect it straight and you are ready to go. It can work with Logic, it can work with Premiere, it can work with any software, any DAW of your choice. All you gotta do is plug this and you can talk straight into it. And I think Blue Yeti makes one of the best USB microphones. USB microphones over the years have developed a lot, and we have really high quality USB microphones that can even record vocals in a recording studio where the vocals are actually good, could be treated for music production. So that's how these mics work. We're also going to be talking about these Equinox Equitec, Equitec E100. This is a unidirectional microphone. We skipped that. I want to talk about this one. This has an XLR output and input, and this is a really powerful uni. And if you followed through this video, you know what a unidirectional microphone is. So let's talk about in video production. I mean, we talked about a plethora of microphones, but what are you getting from it? What we're trying to teach you is basically knowing a little bit of how and when to use these microphones.
Which one is right
for
the job
what you're doing. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why we're going through this. We didn't talk about some directional microphones, especially for interviews where you have this long form Rode makes them. It's like this long strip off microphone. It looks like a cane, like it looks pretty long. Those are directional as well. Those come in bi-directional and omnidirectional, but we didn't have that mic here. But your question might be, where and when can I use these? So for Lavalier, I'll make sure I start with Lavalier mics. Where and when can they use?
I mean, let's see. I would say for the most part, and as far as we don't have the boom, I wish we had our boom mic.
The boom.
Here,
Yep.
because that's sort
the
of the one we kind of forgot, and I'll kind of just give a quick, even though we don't have one here, a boom mic would just be one that typically would go either on top of the camera, or if you have an extra person on set. If you ever seen the guy holding the pole with a mic on top of it, but they're sort of less. They pick up what they would be able to pick up sound in the entire room. I would say, generally speaking, they're a little bit less precise, but they're better at
like movies and stuff.
Right. Again.
So like those type of boom mics you see with, there's a sound guy holding this big, those are those type of mics, and they're really good because they come soundproof, and the thing that creates that soundproof is called the dead cat. Actually, the dead cat is this insulation that goes around the mics that helps block the sound that is coming outside. So it's really good. And most of the times, those type of microphones are 360 mics. Those are omnidirectional mics. So it picks every sound. It picks environments. It picks what's going on, the wind and stuff like that. So that thing serves as some sort of insulation, and it is really good for movies and interviews. It all depends on what you're trying to do and how much money you have. Those mics are quite expensive, but Rode makes some cheaper ones that you can start with.
But to go with Tom's initial question for me, if you're getting I would say probably most people, their initial mics are either going to be a lavalier or a boom mic for video production. A lavalier mic, again, anything that's an interview, 1 to 2 people, you're trying to, but especially with a lavalier, you're getting one person speaking. So whoever, whether that's one person on camera, if you have a person talking and a person being interviewed, you might have 2 lavaliers. But again, the lavalier is one person who you just want to get them speaking. You want to get their voice as clear as possible. I would say most of the time, especially when in a production where you have time to sit them down, mic them up, you're going to be going with a lavalier mic. Again, it's more personal. If you have a mixer, you'll be able to get their levels, which might be even another. Maybe that's probably another.
Trevor's trying to go up.
I'm trying. That's a funny thing. I guess you try and keep it one, but that's.
So the lavalier mics, if when we started, we had really long wired lavalier mics where no matter where you are, we have like a 6-foot one where we can just plug it in the mic and we don't have to do any mixing jobs. Trevor did mention that is very important. Sometimes these lavalier mics have XLR outputs, which makes it a lot complex. The XLR outputs then go into some sort of mixer so you can get a little bit of compression and a little bit of tweaks on the vocals, which goes into another section that we can talk about later. It goes into knowing frequencies and signal flow. We're gonna talk about that later, but that's with lavalier mics. I'm gonna talk about this Equitec is gonna be very similar to the lavalier mics. These mics, normally you see reporters using these type of mics, you see newscasters using these type of mics. It's very good, and this particular one with the Equitec E100, you have a low cut, and you have some nice features that makes reporters love this particular mic. And like I said, it falls under omnidirectional, which is one, so you point it towards the person and you get in one signal coming through it. I'm also going to talk about this Rode. Rode, like we talked about some minutes before. The Rode is the Rode reporter mic is a 360 omnidirectional. So yeah, it's really good for multiple. If you're doing multiple interviews, you want to interview this person and this guy's talking, that guy's talking, but you still got to point it towards them to get a really good signal. It needs to be a lot closer. That's what I've noticed about this particular mic. If you too far away, it's not gonna capture it. So you have to be
like it
a
has
lot
like a built-in
very close.
Low end. It seems like a low and a high pass that's kind of built in where it is. If it's too far away,
yeah, it's not gonna.
Which is good for it's this mic is very good. I would say, again, if you're out, again, in the field, so you're out in the street, you're outside, a lot of outside noise,
right,
is good at cutting that. But the kind of negative to that is if it's not
close
within a foot of someone's face, you're not gonna, you know, you're not gonna catch that sound. So something to think about.
Right. These mics works with ranges, and it has a sort of range, and you can actually read on the internet before you buy it. It has some sort of range that works within a certain range. So you have to be in that particular range. And like Trevor said, it does this low cut, high cut thing where it kind of filters the sound based on the range at which it's capturing the sound. So if you in that range, it's gonna capture it. But if you too far back, it kind of cuts it off. And that's the technology built into this. This is one of my favorite, our favorite ones.
Definitely. We're not paid to say that, but we should be. You know, we can tag Rode. You know, we should. You know, give us a little piece. Y'all are doing well. We're trying to do well too.
I know.
But
So Rode is I don't know, if you're a starter, you're a beginner, you don't have a lot of money, Rode is the way to go. This is the first mic that I've used that we bought. It's the Rode NT1A. Like I said before, is a one-directional mic. So this is good for podcasts. I mean, it's good for if you want a setup where, you know, it's just right on your face. You have a little kind of like handle thing holding this mic. It's really good for podcasts, music production, those type of things. With video production, you do the podcast. Maybe you're doing a podcast for YouTube, and you need something cheap. This mic, I think, is ranging from 100. If you go to reverb.com, you can get a used one, or you can go to Rode and get a new one. I think it's running around 200 to 300 for new, and depending on how old it is on Reverb, it could be $100 to $150, which is really good for an entry level podcast production. The next thing we're going to talk about, but not the least, is the Blue Yeti. Blue Yeti it's one of my favorites. We've done a couple of things with this. This is really good if you are a YouTuber or you're trying to start a YouTube page and you need some sound or you need some crisp sound coming through your computer. Like we said, it's a USB connector. It connects through the USB to get the sound in. It's a unidirectional, so it means it has to be very close. It's kind of similar to how the Rode works. You have to be really close to this thing. I like this stand that comes with it because it enables you to kind of pull the mic top and down and actually get it closer.
Yeah, don't need a stand or anything extra with it.
Right. It's
know,
very
again,
powerful.
All of these, you still will need a stand. You'll still need something to prop it up.
To prop it up. Exactly. So you can get the sound. Blue Yeti is one is one mic that you have to be very close. There's no exception. Like we talked about these, you have to be very, very close to this particular one to get the signal. Because some people, they will get it and they will be like over there and it's like, oh, the sound is so bad. No, it's capturing the environmental sound that is going on. So you want to be very close to a Blue Yeti mic. They have really new, powerful ones that is a lot better. I think this is an older model. I don't know about the newer ones, but as far as I know, you have to be a lot closer. It's very easy. You connect this to your computer, and then you look on your computer's output, look for your computer's input sound devices, and you will find it. Normally it's called Blue Yeti, and you can find it. And so that kind of wraps it up with these mics. Shall we have anything to say?
The only thing I will really say, because again, we're trying to keep it brief. We're trying to keep it brief. But one thing I think, and we definitely did in the beginning, was overlook audio. Our last video, we talked about how important lighting was. So don't underestimate your sound. Any of you who are, if you're shooting events, if you're shooting, it's any event, it'll be a huge help to you to have some footage, whether it's a person, if it's a wedding, if it's the bride, the groom, part of the wedding party, talking about the event, having audio, clear audio of the event will definitely help you out. The sort of, it's kind of, you can tell an amateur videographer because you just film it with the crap sound and just throw throw a song under it because your audio isn't good. Get a mic, even if you just get a lavalier mic.
Just get it.
And just want to hook it up to somebody and get them to say something.
It really goes far.
It'll really help. And again, if you want to see, we use everything here. We use, if you can't tell, we use it. Nothing here is fresh out of the box. It definitely is. Again, it's not something you want to overlook. Right. It's important.
Very important. That's what Trevor was saying. It's very important. And he can he could not stress more on that. It's very, 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 very almost like the fundamentals of good production. If you're watching a movie, if you go to the cinema and you're watching a movie, the sound is what captures you, right? The sound is what captures you. So the sound is very, very important. The sound, and even how quality the sound is. Sometimes you watch YouTube videos and the sound is like muffly, and they probably don't even have any mic connected to it. In the next videos, we're gonna talk about recorders. We didn't talk about this. Recorders are very important. We're gonna talk about how to sync sound into the software, because sometimes these mics, especially with these XLR mics, you can connect it to a recorder. The recorder then records the sound. You can take the sound, put it into your software, and take the footage from your camera and sync it together to get clean sound. All these things can be done. Why do they do it? They do it because they want a really seamless video production with good sound. It's very important. It's gonna elevate your work from 0 to 100 real quick. Like Drake said it, real quick. So that comes to the end of the tutorial for today. Trevor said it all, I said it all. Follow us on Creative Board on Instagram. Also follow us on YouTube. This is a new channel. I want you guys to help us. So hit the thumbs up, and also subscribe to this channel so we can grow anytime we post. You see it. We're gonna try to do these videos. These videos are not easy to make, so I want you to support us and always comment, even if it's thanks guys or hey, when is your next videos coming up. it really helps us. And when we see that, it's like, oh, we gotta do a new one. So please really support us, and we could grow together.
Absolutely. So again, my name is Trevor.
And my name is Tommy, and we will see you next week on the next tutorial.